How to sell more cars.
Two. Are we there? I haven't done this in a while. Hello, everyone in Facebook land, and later on you're going to see this on YouTube and probably on my webpage and a couple other places. But I haven't done this in a little while. Matter of fact, I couldn't tell you the last time I went live on Facebook was, but I can tell you it was but the last time I gave away a library of sales books. I have the podcast, which used to be called the Get You Some Radio Show and is now called the How to Sell More Cars podcast. And I interview tons of folks on there and end up reading a few books and have books on hand all the time. And every once in a while, I like to get them out into the world where they can do somebody else some good. So I'm going to do that right now. I've got this huge selection. It's like 20 books or something up in here. I'm going to give away that to one person. I'm going to do it on December 31st. We're just going to do it till the end of the year. So today's December 12th. Between now and December 31st, you can put your name in the hat. Here's a hat. You put your name in the hat to win some of the greatest car sales books and sales books in general, and even other kinds of books. Got all kinds of books here, but I'm in the How to Sell More Cars mastermind group. I've got a little survey that I've been going on. We've been trying to come up with the greatest car sales books of all time. And the number one I put on that list, the very first one on my list for the greatest of all time, is Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. I've got multiple copies of this book. I don't know how long I've had this copy here, but I've got this copy and I've got another copy. But whoever the winner is going to have a copy of How to Win Friends and How to Stop Worrying and Stop Living and How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. We got both of those. Rules to the Game by Charles Cannon. Charles is the general manager of a Lexus store in California. He was on the How to Sell More Cars podcast just a couple of months ago. Gary Fryer works up in the car business for a long time up in New Jersey. He wrote this, Get Fryered Up, 100 Management Lessons for car dealers and for everybody else. He was on the podcast just about a month ago. Kobe Fryer, Get Fryered Up to Lead. Clarity Wins. My buddy Steve Woodruff, he was on the podcast years ago when he and I co-wrote the book Unstuck together. His new book is called Clarity Wins. I'm not sure when this came out, but it's sometime since COVID, because that's where this whole book collection of books come from. Dan Moore, most of you probably know Dan. Dan was on the podcast a while back, and he wrote this, Do More, Get More, The Road to You. And I've got this for those of you who know Steve Stauning, and if you happen to be an author and you've got books and you're going to appear on podcasts. Steve Stauning was on my podcast years ago when he wrote the book Shit Sandwich. He's got a couple of books since then. But Steve, when he was on the podcast, he sent me like a dozen copies of this giant yellow book. I've been giving them away for years, and every time I do, I talk about Steve and give him a little publicity. So don't be bashful. Share the love. Spread it around. Send a bunch of books. We'll make sure they get passed along to someone who needs them. Steve Diggs, right here in Nashville. He's been a guest on my podcast. Couple of books that I've read that I haven't interviewed the authors, but I would love to. Search Inside Yourself. It's about mindfulness and the director. I forget what this guy is. He was the Unexpected Path to Achieving Success, Happiness, and World Peace. I gotta look at this again. This guy had something really cool on his business card at Google. He was basically in charge of mindfulness for Google. The Secrets to Cold Call Success, Paul Newberger. Book More Business, Make Money Speaking by Louis Kramer. Here we go. You guys know this. Go. Anthony Santangelo, 10 Times Mindset Habits. Got his book right there. The Power of Focus. This is a great book. Jack Canfield, The Power of Focus. You need to read that. One of my favorite books I've read in the last 10 years, probably, Smarter, Faster, Better by Charles Duhigg. Charles also wrote the book The Power of Habit, which literally changed my life in regards to what some of the things that I think about how you make things happen, that they happen by habit, not by you deciding to do it. You've got to create the habit to get the work done. The Millionaire Choice, Tony Bradshaw. Tony's right here in Nashville, buddy of mine. He wrote that book. And then Promptings by Cody Bateman. Cody is in charge of and send out cards. A lot of you use send out cards to stay in touch with your customers and your friends and your family. But we got a couple of books by Cody are in this, so I don't know how many of that is. Couple of dozen or so. We got this one. Better self-help for the rest of us. I wrote that bad boy, so you're welcome to a single copy of that. And somewhere back here we got this one. How to sell more cars, make more money, and have more fun. Sell more cars, make more friends, sell more cars. I wrote that book. I wrote that in the midst of COVID. So it first was published in 2020, and the paperback came out in 2021. So those are the books, and if you want to qualify for that ginormous library of sales books for you or your sales team, most of those would look lovely sitting on a shelf in your training room at your dealership. If you would like these for you or your team or your staff or the people in your life, here's what I need you to do. I'm going to ask you a favor. I spent a lot of time talking to salespeople and dealers about how the marketing process has changed, and part of that is the importance of your appearance online and what Google says about you and what everything else says about you and what DealerRater say about you and what your customers say about you. Reviews are enormously important to your business. They are enormously important to my business. So I'm going to ask you to qualify for this between now and December 30th to win the How to Sell More Cars free sales library. I want you to go leave me a review. Go leave me a review. If I've done anything for you this year or sometime in the distant past to make your life better, to make your business better, to make you better, to make your team better, go on and tell you about it. If you've read the book and you like that, you can hop over on Amazon and leave me a review. If you've had me in your dealership training and you like that, you can hop over to Google and leave me a review for that. If I've created radio or television ads for your dealership and you're really fond of those, I did a good job for you. You can hop on Facebook and leave me a review there. You can go review the podcast, the How to Sell More podcast, on Apple and on Amazon as well. But I've got a link, terrylancaster.com. How did I do? And it's got a bunch of dashes in there, so it's terrylancaster.com/how did I do. / but I'm going to put that in the link so you don't have to remember all that. And it's got 4 buttons on there. Just figure out where you would like to go say something nice about me. If you feel like I deserved 5 stars, I certainly would appreciate 5 stars. But leave a couple of sentences. It doesn't have to be War and Peace. You just say something nice about me. Couple of sentences, 50 words, hit however many stars you think I deserve, and then send me an email, send me a message, or let me know that you said something nice about me, and we'll put you in the drawing, and hopefully I can return the favor and do something nice for you. If I don't talk to you again anytime in the next couple of weeks, Merry Christmas, and I hope you enjoy the books. Take care, y'all.